What if a simple $1 coin, the kind you might ignore every day, could actually be worth thousands or even life-changing money? It sounds hard to believe, but some presidential $1 coins have shocked collectors with their hidden value. In this video, you'll discover how small details, rare errors, and unique features can turn ordinary coins into something truly special. We'll walk through what makes these coins stand out, and why collectors are searching for them right now, so take a close look at your change, because you might already have one. Now, let's start with the first coin. Let's begin with a coin that helped start a whole new era in modern U.S. money. This is the presidential $1 coin that honors George Washington, the very first coin released in the presidential dollar series. When it first came out, it was more than just another dollar. It marked the beginning of a program designed to teach history through everyday coins. And because it was the first in the series, it quickly gained attention from collectors and everyday people alike. At first glance, this coin might not seem very special. Many examples today show signs of use. You might notice light scratches, small marks, or a surface that has lost some of its shine. But that is part of its journey. These coins were made to be used, passed from hand to hand, and spent in daily life. Over time, that use gave each coin its own story. And interestingly, even coins with wear have become popular, especially the gold-plated versions that stand out with a bright, rich color. The presidential dollar program officially started in 2007. The idea was simple but powerful. Each coin would honor a different U.S. president, released in the order they served. This created a timeline you could actually hold in your hand. The front of each coin shows the president's portrait, while the back features the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and hope. Starting the series with George Washington made perfect sense. He represents leadership, unity, and the founding of the nation. These coins were produced in large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Because of that, the standard versions are not considered rare by mintage alone, but demand tells a different story. When the series launched, many collectors rushed to get the first coin, knowing it would always hold a special place as the starting point of the set. That early excitement still carries forward today. Over time, collectors began to notice small differences between coins. Some had unusual edge lettering, others showed doubling or spacing changes. These small details may seem minor, but in coin collecting, they can make a big difference. Then came another twist. Private companies began adding a thin layer of real 24-karat gold to some of these coins. These gold-plated versions were not made by the U.S. Mint, but they quickly became popular because of their eye-catching look. The gold plating gives the coin a warm, almost glowing appearance. Even if the coin has wear, that golden surface can still look impressive. In fact, some collectors enjoy the slightly aged look because it adds character. It makes the coin feel like it has lived through time, rather than sitting untouched. Take a closer look at the design, and you will see why it stands out. On the front, George Washington's portrait is clear and strong. Around him, you will see his name, the title First President, and the years he served. On the back, the Statue of Liberty stands tall, holding her torch high. Along the edge of the coin, there are inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum, In God We Trust, and the year. These edge details are very important. Some coins have missing or misaligned lettering, and those can be especially interesting to collectors. Even though millions of these coins were made, not all of them survived in collectible condition. Many were spent, scratched, or stored loosely over the years. Finding one that still looks sharp, especially a gold-plated example with minimal damage, is becoming harder. That is part of what drives interest. Collectors are always searching for the best examples they can find. There's also a strong emotional side to this coin. It connects directly to American history. Holding it is like holding a small reminder of the country's beginnings. For many collectors, that connection matters just as much as the price. And speaking of price, this is where things can surprise people. While many examples are still affordable, certain coins, especially gold-plated versions with strong eye appeal or unique features, have reached impressive values. Some have been known to sell in the range of $250,000 to $300,000 when rarity, condition, and collector demand come together. That kind of value is not about the $1 face amount. It comes from the story, the design, and the role this coin plays in the series. Interest in modern coins like this continues to grow. More collectors are starting to look at newer coins, especially those tied to important moments in history. The Washington presidential dollar fits perfectly into that trend. It is modern, but it carries deep historical meaning. If you happen to own one of these coins, there are a few simple things to keep in mind. Try not to clean it, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can reduce its appeal to collectors. Store it in a safe place, preferably in a holder that protects it from air and moisture. And take a moment to check the details, especially along the edge. You never know what small feature might make your coin stand out. In the end, this coin is more than just a dollar. It represents a fresh start in U.S. coin design, a tribute to the nation's first president, and a piece of history that continues to gain attention. Whether it is worn from use or shining with gold plating, it carries a story that is still being discovered today. And that is exactly what keeps collectors looking a little closer every time they find one. Now here's something that might surprise you. A coin that many people once ignored is now being searched for in drawers, jars, and old collections. The presidential $1 coin honoring John Adams has quietly turned into a discovery story where ordinary finds have started catching real attention. For years, people spent these coins without a second thought. But today, some of those same coins are being pulled back out and studied much more carefully. When this coin was first released in 2007, it followed right after the George Washington dollar. At the time, most people saw it as just another new coin. It looked clean, modern, and easy to spend. Many were used in everyday life, dropped into cash registers, or left sitting in change jars. Very few people stopped to think that one day certain examples might be worth a closer look. As time passed, something interesting began to happen. Collectors started noticing small details that had been overlooked before. Some coins had unusual edge lettering, others showed slight differences in spacing or strike quality. These were not things most people would notice right away. But for someone with a careful eye, these small features made a big difference. That's when the discovery side of this coin really began. People started going back through their old coins, checking each one slowly. A coin that once looked completely normal could suddenly stand out. Maybe the edge lettering looked off. Maybe the surface had a unique shine. Maybe it had been kept in better condition than most. These small moments of discovery are what make coin collecting exciting. The design itself also adds to the appeal. On the front, you see John Adams with a firm and thoughtful expression. His name is clearly written, along with the title Second President and the years he served. On the back, the Statue of Liberty stands tall, a symbol that ties every coin in the series together. Around the edge, the lettering includes the year, mint mark, and national mottos. These details may seem simple, but they are exactly what collectors study the most. Now here's another twist in the story. Some of these coins were later coated with a thin layer of 24-karat gold by private companies. These gold-plated versions were never made by the U.S. Mint, but they quickly caught attention. Their bright, warm color makes them stand out right away. Even a coin with light wear can look impressive with that golden finish. Because so many coins were used in daily life, finding one in clean, well-kept condition is not as easy as it sounds. Many have scratches, dull surfaces, or small marks from years of handling. That is why a coin that still looks sharp can feel like a real find. It's not just about age. It's about what survived. Collectors today enjoy that sense of searching and finding. The John Adams dollar has become part of that experience. It's not just something you buy, it's something you might discover. That feeling keeps people looking through old coins again and again. And then there is the question everyone asks at some point: what could it be worth? While many examples are still common, certain coins, especially gold-plated ones with strong detail or unusual features, have reached impressive levels. Some have been seen in the range of $285,000 to $315,000 when condition, presentation, and collector interest all come together. That kind of value often surprises people, especially when the coin once sat unnoticed. This is what makes the discovery angle so powerful. It reminds people that value is not always obvious. Sometimes it takes time, patience, and a second look. A coin that seemed ordinary years ago can suddenly become something worth studying. If ever you come across one of these coins, take a moment before putting it aside. Look at the edge, check the surface, notice the details. You don't need special tools to start, just a bit of curiosity can lead you in the right direction. Some collectors choose to have their coins checked by professionals, especially if something looks unusual. Others simply hold onto them, waiting to see how the market changes over time. Either way, the key idea is simple: pay attention. The John Adams presidential dollar is no longer just a follow-up coin in a series. It has become part of a growing search where people are rediscovering coins they once ignored. And that sense of discovery, that quiet moment when you realize something might be special, is what keeps this coin interesting today. If ever you come across one of these coins, take a moment before putting it aside. Look at the edge, check the surface, notice the details. You don't need special tools to start, just a bit of curiosity can lead you in the right direction. Some collectors choose to have their coins checked by professionals, especially if something looks unusual. Others simply hold on to them, waiting to see how the market changes over time. Either way, the key idea is simple: pay attention. The John Adams presidential dollar is no longer just a follow-up coin in a series. It has become part of a growing search where people are rediscovering coins they once ignored. And that sense of discovery, that quiet moment when you realize something might be special, is what keeps this coin interesting today. That makes surviving examples even more interesting. A worn coin still holds value because of the error. But a clean, well-preserved piece becomes something much harder to find. Collectors are drawn to this coin because it tells a clear story. It shows how one mistake during production can create something unique. It also reminds people that not all valuable coins are old. Some come from recent years, hidden in plain sight. And the market has responded to that story. A circulated example with a confirmed blank edge can sell in the range of $170,000 to $220,000. Coins in better condition, especially those graded by professionals, can move into the $280,000 to $370,000 range. The finest known pieces have reached even higher levels when strong demand meets limited supply. That kind of value is what keeps collectors searching. If you ever come across a 2008 Andrew Jackson dollar, don't just look at the front and back, turn it slowly. Check the edge carefully. That simple step can reveal something most people would miss. And remember, never clean the coin, even if it looks dirty, leave it as it is. Cleaning can damage the surface and lower its appeal. Instead, store it safely and consider having it checked by a professional if something looks unusual. This coin proves something very simple but very powerful. Big value can come from small details, a missing line of text, a smooth edge, a moment in production that didn't go as planned. And sometimes that's all it takes to turn an everyday coin into something truly unforgettable, and just like that, we've reached the end of this deep dive into some truly eye-opening presidential $1 coins. From George Washington to Andrew Jackson, each coin showed us something different, something most people never notice at first glance. What makes these coins special isn't just their value, it's the stories behind them. Moments in history, decisions at the mint. Small details that turned ordinary coins into something collectors now chase. A tiny mistake, a rare finish, or simply a coin that stayed in great shape over time. All of these can change everything, and here's the part that keeps it exciting. These coins are not locked away forever, some are still out there. They could be sitting in an old jar, hidden in a drawer, or mixed in with everyday change. That's what makes this hobby so interesting. You never really know what you might come across. So take your time when you look at coins. Pay attention to the small details. Stay curious, keep learning, and trust your eyes. Because sometimes the most valuable stories are hiding in the smallest places, just waiting to be noticed.